You probably picture Vikings as huge, blonde brutes in horned helmets, right? We'll get ready to have your mind blown. We're diving deep into the Viking Age to uncover 10 facts that history class definitely skipped. Let's get started. First up, number 10. Vikings were surprisingly clean. Forget the image of a dirty, smelly barbarian. Archaeological digs have unearthed tweezers, razors, combs, and even ear spoons made from animal bones and antlers. It seems Vikings took their grooming very seriously. They bathed at least once a week, way more often than other Europeans of their time, and even bleached their hair blonde because, well, blondes had more fun even back then. They weren't just clean, they were trendsetters. Coming in at number 9, Vikings weren't one unified group. The term Viking was more of a job description than a nationality. It meant to go on an expedition in Old Norse. These expeditions were carried out by Norsemen from modern-day Denmark, Sweden, and Norway. So, when you talk about Vikings, you're talking about a diverse collection of seafaring traders, explorers, and yes, raiders from all over Scandinavia, not a single unified army. At number 8, let's talk about their helmets. I hate to break it to you, but the iconic horned helmet. It's a complete myth. There is zero archaeological evidence that Vikings ever wore horned helmets into battle. It would be incredibly impractical. Anyway, can you imagine getting your horn stuck in a tree branch during a raid? This popular image was actually invented in the 19th century for a Wagner opera to make the characters look more fierce and pagan. Real Viking helmets were simple, dome-shaped caps made of iron or leather. Sailing into the number 7 spot, Viking women had remarkable rights for their time. While it wasn't a modern feminist utopia, Norse women could inherit property, request a divorce, and even reclaim their dowries if their marriage ended. They were the masters of the household when the men were away raiding or trading, managing farms and finances. Some sagas even tell tales of shield maidens, women who fought alongside men, although the historical evidence for them is still debated. Still, pretty progressive for the 8th century. At number 6, we have a surprising trade good, unicorns. Well, sort of. Vikings cleverly marketed narwhal tusks, those long, single tusks from the Arctic whale, as unicorn horns to unsuspecting European buyers. These horns were believed to have magical healing properties and fetched an astronomical price, sometimes worth more than their weight in gold. It was a brilliant and highly profitable marketing scheme that funded many of their expeditions. Talk about a legendary hustle. Halfway through our list at number 5. Vikings were skilled farmers and settlers, not just raiders. The image of constant pillaging isn't the whole story. Most Norse people were peaceful farmers, raising livestock and growing crops like barley and oats in a harsh climate. Their desire for new farmland was a major reason they set sail. They were pioneers who established settlements in Iceland, Greenland, and even North America, long before Columbus. Raiding was just a seasonal side gig for some. At number 4, they were incredible poets and storytellers. The Vikings didn't leave many written records themselves, as their history was passed down orally through epic poems and sagas. These stories, filled with heroic gods, fierce battles, and clever wordplay, are masterpieces of literature. They had a complex form of poetry called Scotic verse, which used intricate rhyme schemes and Kenning's poetic compound metaphors like calling a sword a wound wand. They valued a sharp wit just as much as a sharp axe. Now for our top 3. Coming in at number 3, Vikings loved to ski. It might sound like a modern hobby, but skiing has been a part of Scandinavian life for thousands of years. They used skis for transportation, hunting, and even for fun. The Norse even had a god of skiing, Uller. So while they were feared for their longships, they were just as comfortable gliding over snow as they were sailing over waves. It was a practical way to navigate their snowy homeland. The runner-up at number 2, Vikings reached North America 500 years before Christopher Columbus. Around the year 1000, Leif Erikson, a Norse explorer, led an expedition that landed in a place they called Vinland. For years, this was just a story from the sagas, but in the 1960s, archaeologists discovered the remains of a Viking settlement at Lonso Meadows in Newfoundland, Canada. This confirmed that Norsemen were the first Europeans to set foot in the New World, a truly monumental achievement in exploration. And finally, the number 1 little-known fact about the Viking Age, the word berserk comes from them. The berserkers were elite Viking warriors who were said to fight in a trance-like fury. The name likely comes from berserk in Old Norse, suggesting they wore bear pelts and perhaps spiritually channeled the animal's strength. They would howl, bite their shields, and fight with a terrifying, uncontrollable rage, making them the special forces of their day. Their fearsome reputation alone was a powerful weapon. So there you have it, 10 things that change how you see the Vikings. They were so much more than the horned helmeted caricatures we know. They were clean, poetic, entrepreneurial explorers who changed the course of history. What fact surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into history. See you next time.